The invasion began with 9,900 ships. Leo sat on the edge of the rooftop, staring at the stars. His phone rested in his hand, screen dark. He had read the message again and again. I'm moving to Vancouver. It's a great opportunity. I leave tomorrow. That was 3 months ago. From Maya. They had been best friends since 3rd grade. Same school, same bus, same lunch table. They built forts out of cardboard, stayed up late watching meteor showers, and promised they'd never live in different cities. No matter what, Maya had said, pinky swear in the air. Leo had believed it, but now she was gone. At first, they texted every day, then every few days, then just on birthdays. Now, silence. Leo didn't know if she was busy, upset with him, or just moving on. He wanted to say something, anything, but every message he typed felt wrong. Too sad, too desperate, too fake. Hey, how's Vancouver? Too simple. I miss you. Too heavy. So he said nothing. Every night he came to this rooftop. It was their spot. They used to sit here with thermoses of hot chocolate, pointing at stars and making up stories about them. That one's a spaceship, Maya would say. And that one? That's a lost balloon from a kid's birthday on another planet. Leo smiled at the memory. But tonight, the smile didn't stay. The stars looked colder now. He pulled his jacket tighter. The city hummed below, cars, sirens, distant laughter. But up here, it felt quiet, empty, like a room with all the furniture gone. He thought about calling her. Just hearing her voice would help. But what if she didn't want to talk? What if she'd made new friends, a new life, and he was just old news? His thumb hovered over her name in his contacts. One tap. That's all it would take. But he couldn't do it. Instead, he opened a folder on his phone labeled Maya, Photos, Voice Notes. A video of them laughing so hard, they cried at a terrible magic show. He played one of the voice notes. Leo, you'll never guess what happened. A squirrel stole my sandwich right out of my hand, right in front of me. I think it was planning it. It had intent. He laughed. Then his throat tightened. Why was it so hard to just say he missed her? He looked up at the sky. A shooting star flashed, brief, bright, gone. Make a wish, he whispered. He didn't. Wishes were for kids. For people who still believed things could go back to how they were. But then he paused. Maybe he didn't want things to go back. Maybe he just wanted to know she was okay. That she still remembered him. That their friendship hadn't just faded. He thought about the first time they met. He dropped his books, and Maya helped pick them up. She said, "You look like someone who needs a partner in crime." And just like that, they were friends. No grand plan. No perfect words. Just kindness. So why was he overthinking a text message? He took a deep breath and started typing. Hey, Maya, it's been quiet. I saw a shooting star tonight. Made me think of you. I miss our rooftop talks. If you're up for it, I'd love to hear your voice. No pressure. Just, I care about you. He stared at the screen. His finger trembled over send. Then dash beep. A message from Maya. His heart jumped. It was a photo. Snow-covered mountains. A coffee shop with a sign. Best hot chocolate in Canada. And a caption. Found our new spot. Saved you a seat. Call me tomorrow. I miss you too. Leo exhaled. A slow, deep breath, like he'd been holding it for months. He looked back at the stars. They didn't look cold anymore. They looked full of light. He hit send on his message. Then he smiled. The invasion began with 9,900 ships. But the story of Leo and Maya? It began with one message. And ended with just 18 words. I miss you. Me too. Let's talk. The rest? Silence. Not from distance. Not from fear, but from peace. Because sometimes the bravest thing a person can do isn't fighting a war. Across the stars. It's reaching out across the quiet, just to say, I still care. And sometimes someone on the other side reaches back. The galaxy may never know about Leo and Maya, but in a small corner of Earth, under a sky full of stars, something powerful happened. Not an invasion, a reconnection. And that was its own kind of victory. HFY. Because humans don't give up. Not on battles, and not on each other. Word count, approximately 990 words. Simple, heartfelt, and hopeful. Let me know when you'd like the next part. Asterisk. Leo was still in bed, half awake, sunlight creeping through his blinds. His phone rang her ringtone, the one he hadn't heard in months. A silly tune they made up together. Ba-dum-ba-do, you're late again. His heart jumped. He fumbled for the phone, nearly dropping it. Hello? He said, voice rough with sleep. Hey, sleepyhead, came Maya's voice. Light, warm, just like before. You called, Leo said, sitting up fast. I did, she said, laughing softly. You sent a message. I didn't want to wait another day. Leo smiled so wide it hurt. They talked for over an hour. About Vancouver, the snow, the coffee shop, with the hot chocolate, her new job at a science museum, how she missed the smell of summer rain back home, how she still kept their old friendship journal in her backpack. And last week, she said, I saw a squirrel do a backflip off a fence. I swear it was the same one from the sandwich incident. Leo laughed, and for the first time in months, the weight on his chest felt lighter. But then, silence. Not awkward. Just real. I should have called sooner, Maya said quietly. Should have too, Leo admitted. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to bother you. You could never bother me, she said. You're my person, Leo. Distance doesn't erase that. He swallowed hard. I was scared you'd changed, that you'd moved on. I have changed, she said, but not in the way you think. I miss home. I miss us, but I'm still me. And I hope you're still you. I am, Leo said, just quieter, lonelier. I'm sorry, she whispered. They sat in silence for a moment, not on the rooftop, not in the same city, but together in a way that mattered. Then Maya said, what if we start over? Not from the beginning, but from now. Leo thought about it. Start over? Not forget the past. Just rebuild the connection. Like a reboot, he said. Same system, better signal. Exactly, she said. Weekly calls. No pressure, no guilt. Just US and hot chocolate? Leo asked. Always, she said. They agreed on Sundays at 7 p.m. his time. Her way of saying, I'll be here. The first few calls were short, a little stiff. They talked about the weather, books, a funny video of a dog wearing socks. But slowly, like a plant pushing through cracked concrete, the friendship grew again. One Sunday, Leo told her about the night he read her I'm moving message. How he sat on the rooftop and stared at the stars until his eyes burned. I thought you were gone for good, he said. I was never gone, Maya said. I just wasn't reaching back. And that was my fault. It was both of us, Leo said. But we're here now. They started sharing small things, photos of their breakfasts, voice notes of songs they liked, videos of sunsets. Leo sent her a time-lapse of the stars above his rooftop. Maya sent one of the northern lights dancing over a frozen lake. Looks like magic, Leo said. It does, she replied. But so does your city at night. All those lights. Like stars fallen to the ground. They weren't just reconnecting. They were seeing each other again. Not as they were, but as they are. That, Leo realized, was even better. Then, One Sunday, Maya said, "I've been saving up." And I booked a ticket. Leo's breath stopped. "Come home?" He asked. "Come visit," she corrected, smiling. "For 2 weeks. We'll eat terrible pizza, watch bad movies, and sit on that stupid rooftop until our fingers go numb." Leo didn't cry. Okay, he cried a little. That's the best plan I've ever heard. He said the days after that felt different. Lighter. Hopeful. Leo cleaned his room. Fixed the loose step on the porch. Even bought a new thermos blue, her favorite color. He showed her the house over video call. "This is where you'll sleep. This is where we'll eat. This is where we'll laugh at how bad we are at cooking." Maya smiled. "I can't wait." As the weeks passed, Leo noticed something. He wasn't just waiting for her visit. He was living again. He joined a stargazing club, started writing short stories, even volunteered at a youth center, helping kids build model rockets. One night, a little boy asked, "Why do you care so much about space?" Leo smiled. "Because sometimes the people you care about feel like stars, far away, hard to reach. But if you keep looking, and if you send a little light back, they'll find their way home." The boy nodded, like he understood. Maybe. He did. The day Maya arrived, it was raining. Leo stood at the airport gate, heart pounding. And then there she was. Same messy bun. Same bright eyes. Same lopsided smile. She dropped her bag and ran to him. They didn't say anything. They just hugged. Long, tight, real. Like no time had passed. Like everything had been worth the wait. Later, on the rooftop, wrapped in blankets, sipping hot chocolate. From the new thermos, Maya looked up at the sky. "Remember when we used to make up stories about the stars?" she asked. "Of course," Leo said. "Tell me one," she said. "Something new." Leo looked up. A satellite blinked across the dark. "That one?" he said, pointing. "That's not a star. That's a message." "A message?" Maya asked. "Yeah," Leo said. "From a kid who moved away, and a friend who waited. It says, we're still here. We're still us." Maya leaned her head on his shoulder. "I like that story," she said. They sat in silence, watching the sky. Not 9,900 ships. Not war. Not destruction. Just two people. Reconnected. Alive. Together. The invasion began with 9,900 ships. Only 18 made it through. But this quiet moment on a rooftop, this was the real victory. Because humans don't win by force. We win by feeling. By caring. By reaching out again. And again, until someone reaches back. HFY. Because the strongest thing in the 2 weeks passed like seconds. Mornings filled with laughter. Afternoons exploring old spots and new ones. Nights on the rooftop with thermoses steaming and stars blinking above. They rebuilt what they had not by pretending the distance never happened, but by talking about it. About the silence, the fear, the loneliness. On her last night, Maya said, "I don't want this to end when I leave." "It doesn't have to," Leo said. "We've already proven we can stay connected. We just have to keep trying." She smiled. "Promise?" "Promise." The next morning, he stood at the airport drop-off, watching her walk toward security. She turned once, waved, and nodded. Sunday. He nodded. He knew what she meant. Our call. "I'll be there. And she was. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., like clockwork, her face appeared on his screen. Sometimes she was in her kitchen, stirring soup. Sometimes on a park bench, snow dusting her hair. Sometimes just lying in bed, tired but smiling. They talked about everything: her work, designing planetarium shows, his stories getting published in a local magazine, the stray cat he'd started feeding. He named her Nebula. But slowly, something changed. Not in their friendship, but and how they stayed close. Leo noticed it first when he recorded a short video of the city skyline lit up for the winter festival. He sent it with the words, "Wish you were here." Maya replied, with a video of Vancouver's lights reflected on wet pavement, set to a soft piano song. "I'm here with you," she wrote, "just in a different place." Then, one Sunday, she said, "What if we did more than talk?" "Like what?" Leo asked. "I don't know. Something together." So they started small. They read the same book each month. They watched the same movie at the same time, texting reactions like they were in the same room. Leo built a model rocket while Maya followed along with a kit she ordered. When it launched and crashed into a tree, they both laughed until they cried. They even started a shared journal digital with drawings, voice notes, and photos. Leo called it the Rooftop Archives. It wasn't the same as being together, but it was something. And sometimes something is enough. Then came the night Leo didn't answer. Maya called, texted, no reply. She waited. And waited. By Monday, worry settled in her chest like a stone. Had something happened? Had he changed his mind? Had the distance finally won? She almost called his parents, almost messaged his friends. But then Tuesday evening, a message came. Just 3 words. "I'm okay." Then another, "Sorry." Then a voice note, Leo's voice. Quiet and tired. Had a rough few days. Dad's been sick. Just didn't have the energy. Didn't mean to disappear. Maya's heart ached. She didn't reply with a joke. No, where were you? No guilt. She sent one thing. A voice note of her breathing. Slow, calm, steady, and the words, "I'm here, whenever you're ready." That night, Leo called. They didn't talk about the weather. They didn't watch a movie. They just listened. To each other. To the silence. To the unspoken truth. That being close doesn't mean never falling. It means knowing someone will catch you when you do. After that, something shifted. They didn't just share joy. They shared weight. And somehow, it made the connection stronger. Then, one rainy Sunday, Maya said, "I've been thinking." Dangerous habit? Leo joked. She smiled. "What if we didn't wait for visits?" "What do you mean?" "What if," she said slowly, "one of us moves?" Leo froze. "Not right now," she added quickly. "But someday." "What if we lived in the same city again?" Leo looked out his window. Rain tapped the glass like fingers. He thought of the rooftop, the stars, the years of silence, the fear of losing her. And then he thought of her laugh, her voice, the way she always knew when he was sad, even from thousands of miles away. He thought of the future, not as something to fear, but as something to build. "I'd like that," he said. Maya exhaled, like she'd been holding her breath for years. "Too," she whispered. They didn't make plans that night. No dates, no lists, no pressure. Just a quiet understanding. They weren't giving up on their lives. They were choosing each other. And that choice, small, steady, human, was more powerful than any worship. Months passed. Leo kept writing. Maya's planetarium show would leave her first big project. She called it Home Among the Stars. "It's about people who feel far apart," she told Leo, "but are still connected. By memory, by care, by hope." He smiled. "Sounds familiar." She sent him a recording. In the middle of the show, a single line played over a slow zoom into the Milky Way. Distance is real, but so is love. And sometimes love finds a way, not by closing the gap, but by making it matter less. Leo watched it 3 times. Then he wrote her a story, not about space, not about war, about 2 kids on a rooftop, making up stories about the stars. He called it The Signal. When she read it, she cried. Then she called. "I miss you," she said. "I miss you too," Leo said. "But we're still here." "We are," she said. They sat in silence, phones pressed to their ears, thousands of miles between them. But not really, because in that moment, they were right where they'd always been. Together, the invasion began. With 9,900 ships, only 18 made it through. But this quiet, daily act of care, this refusal to let go, this is what the galaxy will never understand. Not force, not fear, but this, the soft, steady light of two hearts staying connected across the dark HFY, because humans don't win battles with weapons. We win them with words. With calls, with patience, with the courage to say, "I'm still here." And the hope that someone answers back. Ain tapped Leo's window each morning like a quiet reminder. She's not here. Not yet. Not again. Maya's last visit had ended 3 months ago. The city had felt brighter, then flowers pushing through. Cracks in the pavement, birds singing in the trees, laughter echoing from open cafe doors. But now, even with the sun returning, something felt quiet. Not bad. Just empty. They still talked every Sunday. Still shared books, music, and voice. Notes. Maya had started volunteering at a youth science center, helping kids build simple robots. Leo sent her photos of Nebula the cat napping in sunbeams, and she replied with videos of seagulls stealing fries. But lately, their calls had grown shorter. Long. Weak. Maya would say, "Me too." Leo would answer. And then silence. Not angry. Not cold. Just tired. Leo didn't blame her. Life was busy. Grown-up life, bills, work, responsibilities, the kind of things that didn't leave much room for rooftop dreams. Still, he missed more than her voice. He missed the way she'd laugh at his terrible jokes. The way she'd pause mid-sentence when she saw a shooting star. The way she always knew when he was sad, even when he didn't say a word. Now, he wasn't sure she noticed, and he didn't know how to tell her. "Hey, I feel like we're drifting again." Too heavy. You've been distant. Too accusing. So he said nothing. Instead, he walked. Every evening. He followed the same path past the old park, where they used to fly kites, past the library where they studied for finals, past the diner, with the cracked booth they always sat in. He didn't go to the rooftop much anymore. It felt like a memory. One night, he passed a small community center. A sign in the window caught his eye. "Story night? Share a memory. All are welcome." Below it, a note in blue marker. "Bring something that reminds you of someone you care about." Leo paused. Then he went home. He opened the drawer where he kept old things, ticket stubs, dried flowers, a broken watch Maya had tried to fix. At the bottom, wrapped in cloth, was a small wooden star they'd carved together one summer. It wasn't perfect. One side was lopsided, but they painted it silver and hung it on a string. "Our first constellation," she'd said. He held it in his palm. It felt warm. Like hope. The next night, he went to the event. The room was small, full of people of all ages. A woman told a story about her grandmother's soup. A boy shared how his dog saved him from a nightmare. A man spoke about a friend he hadn't seen in 20 years. Then it was Leo's turn. He stood up, heart pounding. I have a friend," he began. "She moved away a long time ago. We stayed close for a while. Then life got in the way. And now, I don't know. I think we're still friends. But it doesn't feel the same." He held up the wooden star. "We made this together. It's not much. But it reminds me that even when things change, the good parts don't have to disappear." His voice cracked. "But I don't know how to say I miss her. without making it weird, without making her feel bad. I just want her to know I still care. The room was quiet. Then someone clapped out, then another. Then everyone. Leo sat down, face warm, eyes wet. Afterward, an older woman handed him a cup of tea. You already said it, she said gently. Right now, in front of all of us, that's courage. Leo smiled. I guess it is. That night, he recorded a voice note, not to Maya, to himself. I still care. He played it back, then he sent it to her, with one line. I said it out loud. Tonight, in front of strangers. It was hard, but I meant it. He didn't expect a reply right away, but 2 hours later, his phone buzzed. A voice note. Maya's voice soft and a little shaky. Leo, I heard you, and I'm so sorry I've been quiet. Work's been hard. I've been tired. But that's not your burden. I should have told you. I should have reached out. I've missed you more than I've said. A pause. You're not just a memory, Leo. You're my best friend, and I don't want to lose that. Not ever. Leo closed his eyes. He didn't cry. Breath. Like he'd been holding his breath for months. The next Sunday, they talked for 2 hours. No distractions. No rushing. Just talking about the quiet, the fear, the love that never really left. And then Maya said, what if we make a new promise? Like what? Leo asked. That we'll never let silence last more than a week. If one? Leo stood on the platform, heart beating like a drum. He held a small paper sign that said, Welcome home, Star Chaser. It was silly, childish, just like the old days. And just like that, the doors opened. People stepped out, families, travelers, workers. And then there she was, Maya. Her hair was longer. She wore a green jacket he didn't recognize. But her smile, bright, warm, a little nervous, was exactly the same. She saw him, and she ran, not fast, not dramatic, just sure, like she'd been walking toward him her whole life. They didn't say anything at first. Just hugged tight, long, real. The kind of hug that says, I missed you without needing words. You came, Leo whispered. Promised, she said, pulling back with tears in her eyes. And I meant it. They walked together through the station, her suitcase rolling behind them. It felt strange at first being side by side after so many months of screens and silence. But slowly, like muscles remembering a forgotten dance, they fell into rhythm. They went to the diner first, the one with the cracked booth. Ordered the same meals. Veggie burger with extra pickles for her, grilled cheese with a side of fries for him. They talked about everything and nothing. The weather, the train ride, the new mural downtown. The cat Leo had finally adopted, Nebula, now had a brother named Comet. But then, over milkshakes, Maya grew quiet. I was scared, she said. Of what? Leo asked. That it wouldn't feel the same, she admitted. That we'd try so hard, and it would still fade. Leo stirred his straw in the thick chocolate. I was scared too, but it does feel the same, Maya said, looking around. Not exactly, but right. Because we're not trying to go back, Leo said. We're building something new. She smiled, with all the old pieces. They finished their shakes and walked toward the park. The sun was low, painting the sky in soft gold and pink. Birds chirped. Kids laughed on the swings. The world felt alive. As they reached the hill where they used to fly kites. Maya stopped. I have something for you, she said, pulling a small box from her bag. Leo opened it. Inside was a necklace, a silver chain with a tiny, detailed model of a spaceship. Not real, not from a movie. But is that? Leo started. The one we drew in 6th grade, Maya said. The Starlight Runner. I had it made. Leo's throat tightened. You kept that drawing? I never threw anything away. She said softly, not the notes, not the photos, not the memories. He looked at her. Why? Because you're not just a friend, Leo. You're my person. And no distance, no time, no silence changes that. He didn't know what to say, so he put the necklace on and hugged her again. That night, they went to the rooftop. It was just as they left it, 2 chairs, the old thermos, the wooden star hanging from a nail in the wall. The city lights sparkled below, and the stars blinked above. They sat in silence for a while, wrapped in blankets, sipping hot chocolate. Then Maya said, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we never reached back?" Leo thought. All the time. And I'm glad we did, he said. Because the truth is, I don't want to lose you. Not ever. Not even for a day. Maya leaned her head on his shoulder. Me neither. They stayed there until the sky turned deep blue and the first shooting star streaked across. Make a wish, Maya whispered. Leo didn't close his eyes. I already got mine, he said. She smiled. They didn't talk much after that. They didn't need to. Sometimes the deepest connections aren't in words. They're in presence. In quiet. In just being there. The next few days were simple. They visited old spots, took long walks, watched bad movies, and laughed at the wrong moments. Leo showed her the stories he'd written, some published, some still rough. Maya told him about her dream of creating a traveling science exhibit for small towns. You should do it, Leo said. I'll help. I can write the stories. You can build the models. She looked at him. Really? Really, he said. We're good at this. Together. She hugged him. Then let's make it real. On her last night, they sat on the rooftop again. I don't want to go, Maya said. I know, Leo said. But you will, and you'll stay. For now, she looked at him. What does that mean? It means, Leo said slowly, that I've been thinking about the future, about choices, and I don't want to spend my life waiting for visits. Maya's eyes widened. Are you saying? I'm not saying I'm moving tomorrow, Leo said, but I'm not ruling it out, because you're not just a person I miss. You're someone I want in my life. Every day. Tears rolled down Maya's cheeks. That's the most beautiful thing anyone's ever said to me, she whispered. They sat in silence, watching the stars, not as kids pretending the sky was theirs, but as adults choosing each other again and again. The invasion began with 9,900 ships. Only 18 completed their mission. But this quiet, steady love between 2 people who refuse to let go, this is what the universe will never understand. Not war, not power, but the courage to say, you matter. The patience to wait, the hope to try again, the strength to say, I'm not giving up. HFY. Because humans don't conquer galaxies with weapons. We change the world with small acts of love, with a call, a letter, a train ticket, a necklace shaped like a childhood dream. We win not by force, but by feeling. By staying. By showing up again and again until the distance doesn't matter anymore. And in that moment, on a quiet rooftop, under a sky full of stars, 2 hearts beat as one, not because they were perfect, but because they chose each other. And that is the greatest victory of all. Asterisk. The air grew crisp. Leaves fell like quiet thoughts. Leo walked the same paths, but now something felt different. Not lonely. Hopeful. Maya was back in Vancouver, but it didn't feel like before. Not distant, not fragile. They still talked every Sunday. But now, their calls weren't just about catching up. They were about building. Plans, dreams, a future. The traveling science exhibit, stargazers, stories from Earth and sky, was no longer just an idea. It was real. Leo had written this first chapter, a story about two kids on a rooftop watching meteors, wondering if anyone out there was watching them. Maya had designed the first model a glowing solar system kids could walk through. They sent each other sketches, voice notes, photos of sticky notes covered in ideas. And every time Leo saw her face on his screen, smiling at something he'd written or excited about a new design, he felt it again, that warmth, like a small sun inside his chest. But then one Sunday, Maya didn't answer. No call, no text, no voice note. Leo waited and waited. By Monday, worry crept in. Had something gone wrong with the exhibit? Had she changed her mind? Had the distance finally called her away again? He didn't want to be the one always reaching, but he didn't want to lose her either. So he did something simple. He opened his laptop and started writing. Not an email, not a message. Story: The Starlight Runner, the tale of a tiny spaceship built by two friends who wanted to explore the universe together. It wasn't fast, it wasn't shiny, but it was strong, because it was made of memories, laughter, and promises. He wrote about the ship drifting through the dark, searching for its missing piece. Not because it was broken, but because it wasn't whole. He ended it with a single line: some ships are built to fly far, but the best ones, they're built to come home. He sent it to Maya with no words, just the file. Then he waited. 2 days passed. On the third morning, his phone buzzed. A video call. Maya's face appeared, tired, eyes a little red. "I'm sorry," she said. "I've been overwhelmed." "What happened?" Leo asked gently. "My mom got sick," she said. "Nothing life-threatening, but she needs help. And I've been trying to do everything work, the exhibit, taking care of her. And I just shut down." Leo didn't say, "You should have told me." He didn't say, "I was worried." He just said, "I'm here." And in that moment, Maya cried. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet tears of relief. "I didn't want to burden you," she whispered. "You're not a burden," Leo said. "You're my best friend, and that means I'm here no matter what." She smiled through tears. "Thank you." They talked for over an hour, about her mom, about fear, about how hard it is to ask for help. "I always feel like I have to be strong," Maya said. "Like if I show I'm struggling, people will walk away." Leo thought of all the times he'd stayed silent, afraid of being too much. "I used to feel that way too," he said. "But I'm learning something." "What?" "That love isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. And real means messy, means tired, means needing someone." Maya wiped her eyes. "I like that." They didn't solve everything that day, but they connected. And that was enough. In the weeks that followed, Leo didn't just write stories. He helped. He researched support groups for families, found a local volunteer network in Vancouver, sent Maya links, notes, even recorded calming music playlists she could play for her mom. And Maya? She started sharing more. Not just the happy moments, but the hard ones too. "Today was rough. I'm exhausted, but I'm still here." And Leo always replied, "Me too." Then, one rainy afternoon, Leo got a message, not a text. A drawing. Maya had sketched the Starlight Runner, but now it had a second seat, labeled, "For Leo." Below it, "Our exhibit launches in 6 months. First stop, your city. Will you be there?" Leo stared at the screen. Then he laughed. Then he cried. Then he called her. "I'll be there," he said. "And I'll bring hot chocolate." "You better," she said, smiling. "And Leo?" "Yeah. Thank you for never giving up on us." "I never could," he said. "You're part of my story." They ended the call, but not the connection. Because now It wasn't just about staying close. It was about growing together, even from afar, even through